Good morning.
Kirsten, can I ask him a question really quick? Can we start off the sessions with a Curtis Blow rap every morning?
Oh my gosh, dude, that was 8th grade. That was 8th grade kind of in-class talent show. How I remember those lines, I have no idea.
That was good.
Thank you.
Well, totally separate conversation, but with the Karras boys, you've got Kyle with the Rockies, of course, Jared over here. I saw that he is on the schedule to pitch today. Obviously, having family in this game, with EK being a part of the baseball side, but also on the broadcast side, just how special are these moments for a family like them, and hopefully maybe an opportunity for them all to maybe see each other in this game today?
It's great. I think baseball is unique in the sense of kind of the family component, the possibilities to do something like this. I had my son take the lineup card last year when Torey Lovello allowed my son to do that, to obviously have two brothers face each other. We did this the other day with the McLeans. I had Mac in the lineup so he can play against his brother. And so Eric, obviously being a great Dodger, being in town right now is great. And so it's going to be a good moment.
What type of baseball dad would you describe that EK is? Because we've seen a little bit of the anxious side on our side, but how would you describe it?
I would say more on the anxious side. It's funny is that I've talked to him, and I think I feel this way, as a dad, you're more nervous for your kid than yourself when you were playing. And so he certainly fits that description.
How long are you planning to keep Freddie in the game as the DH? More than 2 at-bats?
I think 2 is fair, and then we'll probably get Eddie Rosario taking those at-bats after. But I think 2 at-bats will suffice.
Evan's throwing a bullpen again after this. Are you cautiously optimistic that it's trending in the right direction?
I think it's just more optimistic. Everything I've heard, the recovery, his bullpens, we feel very confident. I think that we're intentionally slow playing it, but very optimistic, yes.
How different of a spring do you think this has kind of looked for Freddie, just kind of dealing with all the ankle rehab stuff and not being able to swing as early or probably as much as he normally does, and just how he's handled that?
He's handling it as well as Freddie can handle not playing. But I don't necessarily think it's that bad of a thing. I think, given all that he's done over the last X amount of years in playing, kind of to temper or manage the workload, I just don't think it's going to be that costly. And as we get going and through spring training, we'll tally more at bats. So he'll be ready, but we just got to make sure we try to get him back to 100% before this season starts.
You had your own iconic postseason moment. Is it just make the off season different at all? When you go through something like that and you're kind of reflecting on it, but also trying to get ready for the year. What was that like for you, and what do you think it's been like for him the last couple months?
I think that it's one of those things that in sports people really look towards moments in time. Where they were at that moment in time when something special happened. I think with Freddie, he hears it. He's going to hear it every day, certainly during the baseball season, about how someone was grateful or thankful for that moment. But he just does a great job of, focusing on the job at hand, and certainly having the gratitude, that appreciation, actually, for what that moment did for many, many Dodger fans across the world.
Did you ever have your autograph tattooed on someone's calf like Freddie did this winter?
No, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. Wow.
Do you have a date for Roki's first Cactus League game?
We're thinking through potentially Tuesday. We're thinking through Tuesday, but so we're going to talk more about it. But we'll see.
That be in a Cactus League game.
We'll see.
With Freddie, you mentioned in the past jumping and being able to land. I saw he was taking some grounders. Do we have any sense of how he's feeling after yesterday and where he's at on that progression line?
He's progressing. I just don't think that he's quite there yet. So, He's DHing. We feel good about that. He'll be off tomorrow, and then I think the question will be on Saturday: is he going to be at first base or DHing again? So we'll see. But he's progressing.
He's in the game and potentially on, the base paths. Are you going to have to remind him, like, hey,
yes,
manage the ankle?
Yes. We talked about it, and I will kind of reiterate it when he gets in the batter's box again today. Yes.
I was going to say, I think he already declared himself the first baseman for Saturday.
Is that right? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Is Shohei batting first tomorrow?
Yes.
How many at-bats does he need until the opening day?
I'm not sure. So with Shohei, I'm not sure. I know there's a number that he always takes around, and so it doesn't have to be in the Cactus League games. He's already accrued a dozen at bats on the other side, so I'm not too concerned about where he's at as far as getting at bats in a Cactus League game.
How different does his workload look this spring as he's like actually pitching now again, and compared to like last year when he was doing the rehab? Like, is it just more stuff on his plate every day?
I think there is more stuff, but you don't really feel it. I certainly don't. I think that we're still building in kind of rest and recovery days. Our staff has done a great job kind of managing the rehab, the throwing program, but also getting him ready for the hitting part of it, and making sure he still is recovering. So I think Shohei's done a fantastic job. I think our staff's done a great job. Everything I hear, everything I see, the pitching, the throwing, the arm strength, the build-up is on track. I think he looks fantastic in the batter's box, so it's we're in a good spot.
How much does it help him that he's sort of kind of, not the shoulder part, but the elbow stuff? He's come back from this before. He's kind of gone through this progression before.
I think it certainly helps. And also I think that certainly helps. And also we're close to he's close to being completely healthy. And so I think he's really excited about that. But yeah, going through the process before, I'm sure it's very helpful, yeah.
You mentioned before that the team is kind of trying to break up a little his hitting and pitching workloads. Is it at the point where he kind of has to mix both, in the same days at this point, or are you able to have a little separation?
Yeah, I can't really speak exactly to the crossover, but yes, so I'm sure there is some. I just can't speak to how much there is right now as far as the throwing, the pitching versus the hitting. I'm not too up to speed on that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah.